To me, it's the sign of the demise of people's cognitive ability. It is terrible.
And, ladies and gentlemen, this guy who I had to hide on my channel, so he's commented on my videos before, but he commented 6'7". Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the iTunes Fan Podcast. As always, I'm Teddy Magger from the iTunes Fanboy.
And my name is Alpha DeWolf.
And we have lots of topics to discuss. So first of all, we shall get started with our first topic, which is that our other host, who's currently on hiatus because he's got a job, Tabbycat406, his Golf GTI got T-boned.
That would not be accurate.
He got demolished.
Yeah, let's just say he got in a bit of a crash. Thankfully, not anywhere near as bad as the Audi this time.
So,
at least from what I can tell.
So I'll have to remember to put some pictures up in post if I can. But basically, what happened is that there was a Chevy truck driving in the right lane that kept veering into his lane.
Brand new with temp tags.
Yeah. He kept veering to his lane. When Tad was trying to swerve and had to brake because of that Chevy, he wound up ramming into a Subaru. Get it, Ram? Because Ram is a brand of truck. Even though it was a Chevy truck.
Yes. Dude, I feel so bad for him. That's his second car this year he's gotten in an accident.
Same. I feel really bad for him too.
So, hopefully it's not total. From the looks of it, he just needs new front-end body panels, maybe some bumpers and stuff, and a new radiator. That's what it looks like all the damage is done on the car, so I don't think it'll be completely totaled. I hope not. But, yeah, it's in rough shape.
Yeah, shall we go ahead and start talking? But because Tad is not here, shall we go ahead and start talking about our own topics, starting off with the Idiot Award?
Oh, yes. More gibberish comments on my YouTube. I just uploaded a YouTube video to the Gadgets channel, and when's the last time I did it? I don't know, but yeah, I uploaded a video to the Gadgets channel today, and the first comment I get is of gibberish nonsense.
Please read it, or I can do it.
There's this stupid joke. I cannot stand it. Because the whole point of it is, it means nothing. There is legit no meaning to it.
It's just from a stupid brain rot song.
To me, it's the sign of the demise of people's cognitive ability. It is terrible.
And, ladies and gentlemen, this guy who I had to hide on my channel, so he's commented on my videos before, but he commented 6'7". That is how you actually do it. That is actually what you do. What you're supposed to do whenever you say 6'7". By the way.
And just so you know, that's not how you say 6'7".
That's 6 inches 7.
Yeah, he wrote 6 inches 7.
Oh, I get those. I get those parentheses when using measure feet and inches confusing.
It's 1 apostrophe is foot. A quotation mark is inch.
Okay, I got that now. I get that. I got that now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yep, 1 mark is foot, 2 marks is inch.
I typically remember that, but it's just I get that mixed up sometimes. But that's 6'7" meme is stupid. But let's go ahead and let's move on.
It is terrible. I don't get it.
Oh, actually, I do have a picture of this, but I can't show it because it shows like my school. But in my Algebra 2 class, when we did lesson 6.7, my teacher actually
gosh.
because my teacher actually let us take our photo. Let some of us that wanted to go up to the board and take our photos, holding 6-7s with 6-7 signs on our hand. Don't remember how exactly I did it, but doing. Let me see if I can get this right. 6-7. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but 6-7. I think this is the best I'll be able to get it. But yeah, that's what we did for lessons on the day we had lesson 6.7. That is how that stupid meme is straying there at my school.
I am not looking forward to June 7th.
Hopefully the meme will have died out by then.
Dude, this is the internet. Does the internet ever forget memes?
Yes.
Not usually.
That's sometimes they do, but hopefully the 6-7 trend will blow out. But yeah,
It is so annoying. Oh, you should hear my mom rant about it. Again, my mom is a teacher.
oh.
She can't stand any of the Gen Alpha crap. Just
Well, again,
she
I'm in Gen
doesn't want
I'm in Gen
anything
Z.
to do with it.
I'm in Gen Z, and that's the problem with our generation too. Because again, I was born in 08, so I'm on the borderline of Gen Z and Gen Alpha. And there are some classes I have there are some classes I have with sophomores. So I'm a junior for reference.
Yeah. No, it's horrid. It's absolutely horrible.
All right, but I got one more idiot award that I commented. This is when I initially added the topic, but let's scroll up in messages.
Let's see. This would probably be a while.
Yeah, because it's October. No, okay, I went scroll back too far. Let me.
Oh, you could add this to the idiot award list.
What's that?
It's a cupcake.
Oh.
Get it? Cupcake?
Yeah! That's clever. That's not. Okay. I got this. Let me show you the. I should have really pulled this up on my iPad, but let me show you.
Oh, is it this one?
It's on.
Or excuse me, 2.
So these are these two. So this comment reads, "Bro, please, Apple Watch Series 11, give me a gift, bro. Please, bro, please, 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 please." And then lots of emojis. And then he commented that on 2 of my videos. One when I call customer service, that parody, and then another on my Apple Watch Series 11 unboxing. Yeah.
Yeah, that
I highly doubt that guy is watching this podcast, but if he is,
that's like how to not get a gift. You
You're
be annoying about it, then the answer is automatically no.
You will, even though I currently don't have a use for this thing, which is a segue into our next topic. No, sorry, you cannot have this Apple Watch Series 11.
Yeah.
Which, speaking
I mean, even too, when it comes to asking for stuff, if you be annoying about it, the answer is always automatically no.
Exactly.
Being rude and annoying doesn't get you anywhere. If anything, it gets you further from the destination. So, yeah, it's dumb. It's really dumb. Speaking of idiots, is UPS being a bunch of idiots? For you at least? Or?
I don't know what service my phone is coming in from.
Do you have a tracking number?
Yeah, my iPhone 17 Pro has been delayed again until October 24th through the 31st. I'm very annoyed at that, because that means my Apple Watch Series 11 is useless for even longer, but...
At this point, I'm wondering, are you better off going to a store and buying it in person and just canceling this order?
I've debated doing that, but I've come so but I need to check inventory first because I've come so far that's just might be worth I don't know, might be worth the wait. I'm just
Because I'm gonna say, if they delay it one more time, then you cancel that order and you go look somewhere else, because that probably means it's not coming.
all right. Yeah, I'll do. Yeah, because this is strange. Because I ordered on Apple's website, so this is getting strange.
Yeah, yeah. There's no reason why you shouldn't have this device by now. It's almost been it probably has been a month since like it was announced.
Yeah,
So
it's been 3 weeks.
yeah, that's if they when's the new estimated delivery date?
The 24th through the 31st.
Yeah, okay. If it doesn't come then you get that order canceled and you go look somewhere else.
Yeah, and of course, yeah, I'll be checking on October 31st. If it does not arrive by October 31st, then I'm canceling that order and looking somewhere else because I gotta have it before Black Friday when demand is gonna be crazy. And also, my iPhone 14 Pro storage is getting a little bit tight.
Yeah, you have the 128 gig model, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought, yeah. So, yeah, hopefully that comes because, oh my goodness, that's got to be... It's like... I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. It's like, you ordered something, you paid for it effectively, and yet, why is it not here on time? It's the most infuriating thing.
I know. So. For even one of my teachers has an iPhone 17 Pro.
Yeah, so this is that's dumb. Yeah, speaking of which, actually, I should tell you something about AT&T from what they offered. Apparently, if I were to add a supposed business line, then I could get a 17 Pro for free.
The problem is I have to add another line, so...
Yeah, and I'm not doing that. There really isn't anything appealing for about the 17 Pro for me, at least. I mean, I just uploaded that video discussing my thoughts about it, and the primary things are, one, I'm not particularly happy with the material change, even though it does offer cooling benefits. Yes, I get that. Two, it's just hideous. It is absolutely hideous. There's no way around it. And three, I just got this, and while I do have my own frustrations with a few design decisions around this phone, at the end of the day, I'm not really complaining too much. So
also, 17 Pro wouldn't have fixed that, so... Or didn't fix that, so...
If anything, it would have made it worse.
Exactly. But shall I move on to Stardust updates?
Oh, yeah. So
on your 2019 Buick Lacrosse Essence.
So I was going to report on this last week, but we didn't record last week. But Wednesday evening, I picked up the car after the dealer finally found something wrong. They weren't 100% confident it was going to fix the issue, but I mean, it was an issue that had to be dealt with. The problem was apparently one of the circuits was at half of its voltage, so that was a problem. So they replaced a part. The circuit's now back up to proper voltage, and they gave me the car back after they fixed that and said, "Hey, try driving this around, see if the issues still persist. If not, great. Hope to never see you for a long time." Sadly, though, when I drove it back to the office, it wasn't even 5 minutes, and it started locking again.
They couldn't have driven it around for themselves for 5 minutes.
I mean, there was a slight well, they did drive it around for 5 minutes. The problem is this issue is so inconsistent in terms of when it happens. You have no idea when it's about to happen. And so, I mean, they did drive it around a bit, yeah, they apparently drove it to the next town and back to make sure that it wouldn't do it, and apparently it didn't happen. But that's the problem. It's so sporadic and so unpredictable that you have no idea when it's going to do it. And then you have no idea the frequency in which it's going to do it. Sometimes it's every half a second it tries to lock itself. Sometimes it's every 5 minutes. Sometimes it won't happen that day or that drive cycle. It is so inconsistent. Which on one hand, I hate that it's taking so long, but when the problem is this inconsistent and this hard to diagnose, I get the frustration and I get the reason why it's taking so long to figure this out. But it's like, at the same time, I just want the car back. And so, yeah, I picked it up on Wednesday. It still had the issue. I kept the car over the weekend, and let me tell you, it felt so good. So good to be back in that car for at least the weekend.
Makes sense.
Oh. So, I even put my little, I ordered a button cover for the start-stop button because I hate that ever since I got in Buick's flagship crossover SUV, for some reason they put a metal, it's an aluminum start-stop button instead of the plastic one that I have in my car. And ever since I touched that metal one in that crossover, it now makes my start-stop button feel so cheap. So I ordered it was supposed to be aluminum, according to the eBay listing. It is indeed not aluminum. So I'm a bit disappointed in that, but it at least makes the button feel a lot more premium and nice to touch. And it looks cool too, because now it's a blue button instead of a black button. So I got that installed over the weekend, which it's really just something you stick on a button. It's not that hard to install. But yeah, on Monday morning, I dropped the car back off at the dealership. They're still in the process of diagnosing it, last I heard. And at this point, I don't really have much of an update. I brought my tires. I brought my tires in yesterday to get those swapped because winter's coming around, and I learned very quickly last year that my all-season tires are not good for snow at all.
That's a very valid point, but what's your loaner?
I'll have you take a guess. Although you probably know what it is if you read the group chat.
It's a Chevy SUV or crossover.
Here's the thing. I'm really not sure what to classify it as. So, it's a brand new Chevy Trax. I picked it up with literally 16 miles on the odometer. It is that new. So, in terms of what type of car it is, I'm not sure, because for one, the height of the roofline is only like maybe 2 inches taller than both Stardust and my mom's Buick Regal, which are both sedans. So only 2 inches taller than a sedan. And then, but the ground clearance, like, this is a vehicle with actual proper ground clearance. So, what is this car? I'm not entirely sure. Other than it's basically... I've been calling it primarily a hatchback with a lot more ground clearance than typical.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't want to call it a crossover because the crossovers have the height of an SUV. They're tall, they're off the ground because people prefer sitting high off the ground and such. I don't even know how they get in these things because I was literally jumping to get into the Acadia that I had back when I had that. Yeah, this time I'm not jumping. My only complaint with the seat is actually getting in is easy. It's just I'm sitting too high. My driving position, I'm sitting too high in that car, and I cannot get that seat to go any lower, which sucks. But it also, in terms of the way it drives not perfectly like a sedan, but it is not far off at all. That thing is so fun to drive. So, yeah, that's my current loaner. I guess I'm going to be taking that on a road trip this weekend because I still don't have Stardust back and I have no indication it's coming back tomorrow. So,
You go on lots of road trips.
most of the time it's just weekend getaways.
Well, you still go on a lot more weekend getaways than I do.
Yep, so I'm going on another weekend getaway to Wisconsin once again. Apparently, my grandpa has finished building my dad's new computer, and I'm supposed to pick that up. So that's part of the reason I'm going down. The other reason is I usually get 1 weekend off from playing the organ at church, and this is my weekend. And for reference, this time around, I did all of September. I did not get a single break during September, so I went straight shot all 4 weekends through September, plus this 1 week in October. So I did 5 or 6. Yeah, I did 5 or 6 weekends all in a row. So I'm going to take a break for this weekend and get away.
That's just fine. Shall we move on to our next topic, though? Which is a very interesting topic.
Yes.
We would have covered this one last week if we recorded, but we didn't record last week, so...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep.
Because Alpha was not available, and I couldn't record... And, well, I was sick anyway, but we were both sick, and I didn't feel like...
We were both sick. Oh, yeah, I was knocked out. I took the day off from work that day. I was that knocked out.
Yeah, but anywho, Russian YouTubers, including the same Russian YouTuber that revealed unboxed the 2024 MacBook Pro early, he got the M5 iPad Pro early. And two of them, actually, two Russian YouTubers so far have gotten it early. It hasn't even been announced yet.
Apple's got to be... They're probably going to start cracking down on this. I wonder if they thought last time this would just be a one-off. But I guess now that this has happened for the second year in a row, if I'm not mistaken...
Yeah.
I guess they're going to start cracking down on this because... I mean, considering what they're doing to John Prosser right now, I would not be shocked they're going to try to do something similar to these Russian YouTubers.
Well, the problem is that, of course, international borders, but another problem is that I think the reason this is happening is because Apple stopped selling their products in Russia after the war started, and so consequently now people have to import them from Chinese factories in Russia, so... My theory is that
it's either that or they're smuggling them.
The Russian government lets you import Apple devices. so it's not smuggling. But anywho, that's the side of the point. But anywho, my theory is that the factories are releasing these products early to the Russians.
So I wonder if Apple's going to sue them then.
It's international borders, so it'd be hard, or it'd be very hard to.
It's not impossible. Apple's done it before.
Yeah, they have done before, so it is possible, but yeah. But anywho, getting back to the actual new features of the M5 iPad Pro, it may or may not have the second camera. We're not sure, because one Russian YouTuber found that it has a tiny second camera for both landscape and portrait, while the other one couldn't find one. But mostly, it's just got the M5 just offers GPU improvements. Like the M5 iPad Pro, it's not some dramatic upgrade.
I mean, when has any iPad Pro upgrade been dramatic and groundbreaking? Because
Since 2018, you mean?
yeah, yeah, you know what I mean. Because I mean, again, they put this amazing hardware in it, but you still can't really take advantage of it.
Exactly, but shall I move on to our, because we do you have anything more to say about Russian YouTubers getting a hold of the M5 iPad Pro earlier, or shall I move on to our next topic?
I think we can move on because all I have to say is I think Apple's going to probably start cracking down on this and maybe prepare a few lawsuits. Even though, no, it's not in the U.S., so it's going to be a bit difficult. I would not be shocked if they try to crack down on this.
Yeah, but anywho, getting back to our next topic, which is that some iPhone 17 Pros are now bending easily in people's pockets. So not only are they scratching, but they're also bending.
What's this I said about aluminum not being as durable as stainless steel or titanium?
I think at this point, I'd be stunned if Apple doesn't do some. I somehow think this is going to be the only year of aluminum on the Pro iPhones. I would not be surprised if Apple goes back to either titanium or stainless steel on the 18 Pro.
I'm not sure because, I mean, as far as what I can see on the internet, I think we're in the minority complaining about the durability of this, of the aluminum and such. Most people are praising it. Because, oh, they love how it's lightweight. Oh, they love that they get better cooling performance out of it.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, I guess you could say, yeah, because it wasn't quite as viral as Bengate.
And also at the same time, people are just going to make the same exact argument. People are going to slap a case on it anyways.
Yeah. But it doesn't, but if phones are scratching and bending, then I'm sorry, what if your case breaks? And your new case hasn't come in yet? Or else what if you get your phone before your case?
That, and I'd also like to point out, just because you get a case for your phone, does this mean every, and I mean every, is every part of the phone protected?
No.
This glass here is exposed. So all I need is for it to make an impact on a sharp edge or a sharp rock, and that will still be enough to crack this exposed glass.
Yep.
And in the case of the 17 Pro lineup, unlike this, its bump stretches way the heck over here, leaving a bunch of that plate exposed. So, In general, I'm not a fan of the material switch. I understand why they did it, but maybe it's just I prefer better durability over better thermal performance.
Same. For I mean, if this is going to be if this is supposed to be the rugged phone, then I'm sorry, it's gotta be durable too.
That's the argument I make. This is a pro phone, which means it's going to be used in pro environments. Pro environments may not necessarily mean, we're using it as a camera. I mean, pro environments can also mean take the pro environment I work in, industrial. I use the camera on this phone in the shop a lot. Now, I can't show you those pictures because it's all proprietary stuff and under NDA, unless it's a personal project that is not under NDA. But the point is, I use this camera. I use this out in the shop a lot, and it is not a friendly environment for electronic devices. I'm surprised my watch has held up as well as it did, to be honest. But I mean, I don't know if I can get this visualized on camera properly, but if I bring my phone real close, do you see the metal chips flanking the one camera lens?
Yes, I see that.
That's the type of environment I work in, and that's why I care about durability. And given that I work with metals, it should be obvious, there's metal chips on the back of my phone. I work with metals. I know aluminum is weaker than both stainless steel and titanium. And I work in an environment where, well, I machine all of these metals, plus more. And so, given that I use this in that type of environment, I do care about the durability of the phone. And at least this year's Pro lineup, that was not in consideration at all. So, I mean, yes, on one hand, I get it. The iPhones have been lacking in thermal performance for years. But I think there could have been a better way to do it without sacrificing durability like this.
Like, you still could have had the vapor chamber, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Like, Samsung has been using vapor chambers for years in their phones.
And, furthermore, it's not like iPhones were having overheating problems, but it's not like they were that bad. It's not like an old Intel Mac.
No, it was nowhere near that bad. And primarily, when it did overheat, it was either due to long filming sessions, which makes sense because that is literally the most power-demanding task you can ask from your phone, or unoptimized applications. Just software bugs and glitches, which iOS 18 in particular really, really did not help with that.
Exactly. So yeah, Apple's gonna have to do something about the iPhone 18 Pro's metal, but shall we move on to our next topic about batteries and smart rings?
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, this one I put in the list. So I was scrolling through Twitter one day, and I came across Zone of Tech, one of his tweets. And apparently, he was in the process, he was getting ready to board a plane. And that's when this happened. He was wearing one of those Samsung Galaxy rings. And right as he was about to get ready to board the plane, the battery on his ring started swelling. And it got to the point where he couldn't pull the ring off his finger. It was stuck on his finger. So, obviously, security did not allow him to board due to this whole thing, so he ended up missing his flight due to this. But he also had to, apparently from what I hear, he had to go to the hospital to get this ring removed. So, another reason to not like smart rings, I guess, because, I mean, say the battery were to start swelling on my watch. It's off. Just like that.
And furthermore, two other customers have also reported incidents of the Galaxy Rings battery expanding.
So is this the oh gosh. Samsung and battery strike again. It's the Note 7 all over again.
And furthermore, this is not something that's a concept that's already useless because your smartwatch can do everything a smart ring can and more. But getting back on top, I actually have thought of a way that Samsung could fix that. That they probably have to for the next Galaxy Ring if they do one, which is they should put the battery on the outer edge, so that way if the battery does swell, it'll go out and not into the finger, so that way you can still get it off.
Yeah. Yeah, they should have at least a casing where if it were to start expanding, the casing breaks and it expands on the outside of the ring instead of the inside, because at that point, I mean, everyone knows expanding batteries is a really, really bad thing because they're basically on the brink from exploding. And imagine you get your finger stuck, you get your ring stuck on your finger due to an expanding battery. You can't pull it off. Imagine if you can't get it off in time before the battery explodes.
I think that's the end of that finger.
Yeah, that's a massive safety hazard. So, for one, I really hope Samsung actually recalls these because that is a massive public safety risk. I mean, it's going to look bad for them again because it's the Note 7 all over again with their exploding batteries and such. But this is a legit safety concern. And I really do believe Samsung should recall these rings and make sure they put in batteries that are safer.
Well, what they need to do is what they should do is, even though this issue is not that common, they should just discontinue the Galaxy Ring and then just redesign it to have the battery on the outside.
I mean, they should recall it altogether, because if it's happening to more people than just Zone of Tech, then who else is it happening to? And how many more people could be affected by this?
It's not, now. Granted, it's not that common, but still, thought of having something that could possibly cut your finger off.
Yeah, it's like a car recall. Sometimes they're things that seem kind of minor, but you really are best taking the car in when a recall is issued.
Yes.
It's typically because a car is something you're trusting with to keep your life intact on the road.
Oh, speaking of, my car's I still think I need to get my airbags fixed in my car because of that recall from Mercedes, but that's aside the point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, my dad said he's going to do it, but he hasn't done it yet. So, we'll have to. We'll have to do that some other time. But yeah, that's aside the point.
Yeah. No, yeah. If a recall is ever issued on a product, don't be that guy that goes, I don't need to take it and get. Just do it. The majority of the time a recall is issued is for safety. So, yeah, Samsung, you should recall these rings. That's not. This should not be happening.
I mean, granted that we said in the last episode the iPhone 17 Pro should be recalled due to scratching, but at least the scratching on the iPhone 17 Pro isn't a safety issue.
Yeah. Yeah,
You're
I mean,
typing.
I am?
Yes, as you
Oh.
are.
Oh. I put myself on mute. I was trying to put myself on mute due to me blowing my nose. Yeah, I have a bit of a sinus infection right now.
Yes, I heard about that in your latest video.
So, aren't those fun? Oh. Keep tripping over everything. Alright, that's all I have for this topic. What's next?
The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 is selling 50% more in the United States than the Z Fold 6.
Huh?
What do you mean?
Are people okay, or,
Yeah, the Z Fold is selling that much better.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about
The
that.
Z Fold 7 did
That
bring a
just,
lot of upgrades, so it makes sense, but still.
It's a foldable. That's like, and it still costs $2,000. I don't know. It's just people are stupid. That's all I can say. I legit don't know why you'd get a foldable, other than you're so bored with the concept of a candy bar phone that you don't mind dealing with the disadvantages, the many downsides, despite the price.
Exactly, but Sean, that's basically all I have to say about that. So Sean, move on to Amazon's Vega OS.
Vega OS. What is this supposed to be
It's
for?
their new operating system for their Fire TVs.
Mm-hmm.
It's Linux based, and it's apparently supposed to be less cluttered than the traditional Fire TV UI.
Not entirely sure how that's the case, because we both know Amazon's going to shove a ton of ads in it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how they're... Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this Vega OS works. Actually, let me look up a photo of it, but yeah, Vega OS. Oh, they ditched Android, and it's a Linux based, or it's a build based on a different build of Linux.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's basically the same. It's just different.
Part of me wonders if it's for... As stupid as it sounds, part of me also wonders if it's for gaming or something?
It may partially, but also Amazon and Google have had a long rivalry with each other, and so they're not the most fond of each other, so consequently that might be because of that.
That's a solid point, yeah. In fact, actually, that might be the more likely reason as to why they're trying to ditch Android. And
I mean, they do want to add games to the Fire TV too with their Luna cloud service, but yeah.
they probably won't be worth playing. People are still probably going to end up hooking up an Xbox or a PlayStation, or, in my case, the old Nintendo Wii.
Exactly. I don't even know how many people play on
So-
Xbox anymore, but
I'm surprised that the Apple TV has a game library on it. It's like, how are you supposed to play them with your Siri remote?
Roku's can play games too, so they have A and B buttons on their remotes, or at least used to have A and B buttons on their remotes for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I for the heck of it, I tried downloading a game on the Apple TV, Minion Rush, and apparently they had a bit of an accident when optimizing this game for the Apple TV. So, in Minion Rush, there's this section within the game where the minion slides down a slide. And to control where the minion is positioned on that slide, you tilt your phone or your tablet. It's using the accelerometer to position your minion on the slide.
Oh.
This thing doesn't have an accelerometer. So every single time you come to a slide in Minion Rush on the Apple TV, you get stuck.
Well,
Because there's no accelerometer.
yeah, because it's not like the iPhone. It's like playing games on an iPhone Touch first generation, because the iPhone Touch first generation doesn't have an accelerometer. Doesn't juice on the second one, but that's like playing games that are supposed to have an accelerometer on my iPhone 5 running iOS 6, because there's some games that are obviously use the accelerometer, and this iPhone's accelerometer is broken.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how fun. I can't remember what games specifically don't work. Oh, the compass also doesn't work on it. Yeah.
Yeah, just that I find it so hilarious that the whole point of Apple's app ecosystem is for better optimization, and yet they made an app for one of their operating systems that doesn't work purely because it's assuming that your controller, your remote, has a piece of hardware that in reality it doesn't. This remote does not have an accelerometer in it. So, I'm surprised it's even available for Apple TV in the first place.
Makes perfect sense, but do you have anything more to say about Vega OS, or shall I move on to our next topic?
Yeah, I'll say next topic.
So, Atomic Shrimp posted another scamming video, and this is over, and he's based in the UK, so it's about UK healthcare at the stuff, but obviously we know this could easily translate to transfer to US, but it's scam emails about bowel cancer testing offers for senior citizens through UK healthcare, and I don't remember what the scam specifically is because I typed this topic in 6 days ago, but it's apparently something you have to pay a shipping fee, I think, but you don't actually get the product. I don't know, but if you get any emails about bowel cancer testing, ignore them.
Ugh. Yeah, I keep getting people claiming they're from some tax agency, claiming that, oh, I have missing filings or something. It's like, for one, the IRS. Okay, fun fact for everyone out there: the IRS never, ever communicates to you by phone.
No, that's true. Real government agencies will send you a letter first.
They will all, if a real legit government agency wants to communicate with you, there will either be an appropriate officer or agent coming to knock on your door, or they will send you a letter in the mail. And that is it. They will not send you an email. They will not give you a phone call. They keep things old school.
So that way you know it's legit. And that was my dad was calling me, and I texted him or asked what he was calling me about, but I don't know what he was calling me about, but yeah, he knows I took the report this time too, so
Butt dial?
I don't know.
So, yeah, for your guys' information, if the government really does need to contact you, they will send you a letter in the mail, or they will show up to your house in person. They will never, ever give you a phone call or send you an email. So, yeah, that's one basic scam avoidance tactic. That's just, I'm so frustrated because I'm getting these calls every single day. There's two types of calls I'm getting. It's one from some tax agency from every single number you can think of. And the other, it's so creepy. I can't tell you how creepy this is. It's I get a call from a robotic voice. I can definitely tell it's an AI generated voice saying, "Hey, I really need to talk to you. If you could please call me back at your quickest convenience," that type of thing. No name mentioned, no reason for it's just what's driving me nuts is it's multiple numbers, but it is quite literally, I kid you not, the exact same recording.
That's how you know it's working in the same operation. But do you? Oh, they must leave a voicemail. Because do you still keep silence unknown callers on?
Yeah. Oh, I have to.
Yeah, but one thing that drives me nuts is how come older people always say, "Oh no, we don't. I don't need to." People sometimes need to actually reach me and reach me with silence and if you have silence unknown callers on.
If they need to reach you, they will leave a voicemail.
Yes.
If they do not leave a voicemail, then I guess the reason why they're calling is not important.
Exactly. For everybody should have silence unknown callers on because I think the problem is that old people are still not. I think the problem is that older people, like I'm talking Gen X and up, although I suppose this could affect millennials, but the reason why I think these people are don't like to turn on silence unknown calls is because they're still used to the idea of for all phone calls being legit, I guess you could say.
I will tell you, like 70% of my phone calls these days, 75% are illegitimate calls.
Yeah,
because for one, nobody calls anyone anymore, which I personally hate that, but that's just me. Well, two is just my phone number. No. 75% of my calls are illegitimate.
I don't know what percentage of mine are illegitimate because my dad still insists on calling because he hates texting. But that's aside.
I hate texting too, to be honest.
I prefer texting over calling, but that's just me. But I don't get that many spam calls.
I hate texting because it gets rid of emotion. It gets rid of all emotional context. That's why I hate texting.
But I still get some spam calls here and there. There's some times when actually I haven't gotten any recently. That's strange, but most of the spam calls, I still get some spam calls. Although I don't know what they are because I don't ever respond to scammers because I don't want them knowing that because I don't want scammers knowing that my number is an actual working number, which is probably how come I get fewer spam calls.
Oh yeah. I found the one with the very creepy recording.
Please play it.
Speaker. Yeah.
Hey, I've been trying to reach you. I need to stick with you, please. Give me a call back at your earliest convenience. Thanks.
Kind of creepy.
Did that come through? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real creepy. And it's this. I will get this exact same recording from multiple numbers all the time.
Other people probably get too, and the fact that there's no name and no. If it was a legitimate voicemail, they would give you a reason.
Yeah. So, For one, I can tell it's an AI generated voice because, well, my ears can easily pick that up. No, my phone's been absolutely bombarded with them, especially this past month. This past month has been horrible. There was one day I got 5 spam calls on the same day.
Sometimes I get like there was this one time when I had this same number try to call me over and over again, and so I actually did block that number, even though it was silenced. Anyway.
They ever leave a voicemail?
Let me check. I don't think so.
Well, if you blocked it, I'm pretty sure it's hidden that detail. But
no, they never left a voicemail.
Either way, yeah, that's just for one. If it is important, then you leave a voicemail.
Yeah, I had this number call me. Yeah, I had this number call me twice, and I had several numbers call from. I'm not going to say what market it was from, but from that market. Like that region, like from supposedly that region of the country, even though I'm sure it was actually from probably India.
Most likely, yeah. So, either way, I think we discussed the spam call thing enough. What were we talking about again?
The scam about bowel cancer testing, but I think we've
right. that.
Do you have anything more to say about that? Other than the fact that
nope, yeah. Yep. Next topic.
The Friend AI necklace is now the Friend AI thing is now shipping.
Isn't it convenient? We talked about it last episode. Say, is this thing ever going to ship? It's like, I don't know. The idea sounds so stupid. I don't think it's going to make it.
And it's actually started shipping. It's late. I think it was supposed to ship in May initially, so it's June, July, August. 5 months late, but
yeah, I watched a short circuit on it last week. A short circuit is Linus's unboxings channel, I guess. I'm surprised he actually got his hands on this thing. But there was one thing that seemed pretty clear from the whole video. It is incredibly stupid.
Don't you still need a phone for it anyway?
At that point, you could just develop an app. They've had to develop an app for the phone anyways at that point. What is the point of the necklace?
To generate profit. And I actually saw this one tweet where this guy wondered if it was intentionally, if the Friend AI necklace was designed as a prank, designed to show how stupid AI is. Because you can't help but wonder that this seems a little bit too stupid to be real.
Yeah, so I don't know where to begin to tell you how far it involves a not so nice word. A specific meter is going off the charts right now due to this product existing.
Oh, you mean the detector that Crazy Ken uses to detect scams? Or Crazy Ken from the Computer Clan?
I actually don't really watch him, so I don't know what type of detector you're talking about.
It's that same type of detector.
Oh, okay. Though, a certain detector, if you know what I mean. Let's just say this arm right here is indicating where maximum is, and anything past it is like danger, like shut this thing down. And here's where we're at on that specific detector. Yeah, we're in the danger. We gotta shut this thing down zone.
Yeah.
Oh. It is. It is so stupid. And even if they wanted this product to exist, the number one thing that I can't help but think is like, they could have saved so much money by only just making the app and scrapping the whole necklace idea to begin with.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point, but shall I move on to something that's actually interesting?
Hopefully. Oh! It's Tesla stuff. I was actually legit going to make a video on that today, right after the show.
So, there's apparently the new Tesla Model 3 and Model Y standard.
I am so shocked about both of these products because, for one, the Model 3 standard hasn't really removed a lot of... It hasn't really removed that much, and it's $5,000 cheaper than, I guess, what they're calling Model 3 Premium. So, on one hand, that's interesting. So, the Model 3, it was already an excellent value to begin with, even before the tax credit. And just now it's an even more excellent value right now, I'd argue. And I can't tell you how bad of a value the Model Y standard is.
I actually haven't done much research, so I don't know how good of a value it is.
So for the most part, they didn't really change too much with the Model 3. What they did was they removed your physical power seat controls, so I guess you have to adjust your seat in the screen, which I don't know. The way I feel about that is if you're just going to remove the controls, why not just go to manual seats? Manual seats are not the worst things in the world. Are they annoying? A bit. But they're a great way to cut costs. So I would have preferred Tesla just do manual seats instead of forcing you to have to adjust them in the screen, but they probably could have saved more money that way, but oh well. Yeah, they're still power seats, you just have to adjust them in the center display now.
There's no FM radio.
That is like legit. Oh yeah, there's no FM or AM radio,
and you apparently have to manually adjust the side mirrors, which
yeah, that's right. They got rid of power mirrors. That's an interesting decision. But I mean, these are all small things. Like, for one, if you're the only driver of the car, then legitimately, who cares? Like, I'm pretty much the only one who drives Stardust. And that's my seating position never changes. My mirror positions never change. The only thing that actually moves in the car on a regular basis is my steering wheel so I can get in and out. That is the only thing I have programmed on easy entry and exit. Primarily because I have the steering wheel come so low that I can't get my leg past it. But other than that, the seat stays perfectly still. My mirrors have never moved. Unless Talon has driven the car, which he doesn't do that anymore because he doesn't live here anymore. He's in Texas now. So, yeah, I'm back to being literally the only one who drives the car. And even then, Talon only drove the car for like a week during the whole trip. So,
speaking of, that reminds me, I have to fiddle around with my car seat some more to try to get the perfect driving position because my dad modified it when he drove it on our latest road trip. So, Because we took my car down again because my dad doesn't want to wait. Because both of our cars are approaching 100,000 miles, he doesn't want his M6 to depreciate that much in value. So.
So. But yeah, for one, if you're pretty much the only one who's going to be driving the car, then I really don't see any of these as an issue. So. Yeah, it's primarily seat adjustments. No more back screen, I guess, which might be annoying for certain families, because the number one reason why I like that back screen is to turn on the heated seats in the rear, which I don't think they got rid of them. It's not mentioned anywhere whether Tesla got rid of the heated back seats, though I thought that would be a great way to cut costs, in my opinion. But yeah, as far as I can tell, if you're the only one who's going to be in the car and maybe have like one passenger with you on the occasion, all of the downgrades I really don't think are going to be that annoying.
No.
And it still keeps most of the great stuff. The one big questionable thing for me, not because it's something that I care about, I honestly, I really legit don't care about this. The car does not have autopilot.
Oh. Okay.
They removed basic autopilot. Now, you can spend $8,000 to put FSD supervised on the car.
But at that
because
point, can't you just buy a premium Tesla Model 3 for that much?
That's exactly what I would do. I'd legit do that. But what drives me mad is the fact that you can put FSD supervised on this car, but there's no... They still have the hardware for basic autopilot. So they're still spending money putting in the hardware for the FSD capability, but they've removed basic autopilot. That is purely software. It doesn't save them any money to not include autopilot.
That is stupid.
I'm not mad that's missing autopilot because I care about it. I'm just mad about the principle that they still... The point of this is to save money, and yet they removed a software thing, but still leaving the hardware for it. Like, the software is already written. The cost for developing that, because this is basic autopilot, not FSD. FSD is something totally different. Basic autopilot, the code is done. At least at this point, until Tesla decides to update it again. But the code is done. They don't update basic autopilot very often. The code's done. The code's been long paid off. And yet, they're removing this. Yet, they're not saving any money because the hardware is still there to run it. So... That's why I'm not a fan of them not including it, because for one, the whole point of the car is to save money. They're not doing that by still including the hardware, and yet they're removing a simple feature like that. So I digress. That's the one glaring omission. And the final thing that they changed is apparently there is not a software locked battery. There is a legit physically smaller battery in the standard Model 3 and Y, which it's not really that much smaller. It's funny enough because Elon is Elon. 69 kilowatt hours.
At least it's not 67.
Yeah, so it's supposedly 69 kilowatt hours usable, so that's about 10-ish kilowatt hours less than the long-range models. I personally wish it was LFP. I hear it's not LFP because the primary reason is smaller battery packs will get cycled faster, which means they are prone to degradation faster, which is why I want LFP cells instead of NMC, because LFP does not degrade as quickly, but to my knowledge, this new pack is not LFP, which is unfortunate.
Maybe next time.
So, maybe. I'm hoping that's the case, but yeah, Out of Spec is testing it right now. I have not really watched any of their battery pack testing videos. I only saw a few of their videos showcasing the features that were cut from these cars. So I still have to get myself fully caught up on the details of the battery pack. But all of this and the car's $5,000 cheaper. So for the Model 3, I legit do not think it is a bad value at all. If anything, it is still an amazing value to this day. But the Model Y, on the other hand, the Model Y is so weird because while Tesla did remove some things from the Model 3... Oh, textile seats. That's the number one thing I should have mentioned. It's not leather anymore. It's a fabric, cloth fabric now instead of leather. So, yeah, that was the final big highlight that I can think of. So in the Model Y, things get really weird. For one, they removed both the front and rear light bars. So they also modified the headlight. They actually the front is literally, the front and back are literally different parts. So they have to retool their assembly line. Unlike the Model 3, there is no exterior changes on the Model 3 at all. So, yeah, they're retooling the Model Y assembly line again to remove the light bars from both the front and the rear. They chose to do something weird where the roof is still glass, but it's completely blocked by a headliner.
Huh.
You can't see out the roof, despite that the roof is still glass. They chose to spend more money by adding more material to cover up this glass roof.
That math ain't mathin'.
Yeah, none of this math is mathing at all. Again, it's got the same autopilot problem where it does not have autopilot, but it still has the hardware for it. Like, the Model Y, I'm questioning how they actually got these cost savings down, because it seems like instead of removing unnecessary components that make the car feel actual quality of life to save money, I feel like they were actually legitimately spending money to make the car feel worse.
That's a valid assumption.
Because I look at the new Model 3 Standard. It looks like they hardly changed anything. I mean, yes, it's missing a few things here and there, but they're just quality of life things that, for the most part, I mean, I'm sure there's studies out there, most users don't interact with that much. So I wouldn't be too shocked if that's the reason why Tesla removed them, although I'm still confused about the autopilot thing. But the Model Y, it seems like they spent more money to make it feel cheaper. They spent more money to add more headliner material to completely cover the glass roof. I have no idea what they did with the frunk situation in the Model Y, because the frunk is no longer weatherproof. So don't put anything that you want to keep dry in there. They actually changed the rear window. Apparently in the Model Y Juniper refresh, the premium models still have it. The windshield in the back was squared off, square corners. But this new standard is bringing back the rounded bottom edge of the windshield.
Aw.
It's just, there are so many decisions with this car that, like, you have to spend money to retool your assembly line. And you're also spending more money to add stuff to make the car feel cheaper. And ultimately, I'm not really impressed with the price.
How much cheaper
They
is it?
removed. It's only $5,000 cheaper. That's it. It's only $5,000 cheaper. It's not impressive. It really is not all that impressive. So, if I recall, the Model Y standard is starting at like $40,000, and the Model 3 standard is 35, 36K, something like that.
Yep.
So, just in general, the Model Y standard feels like a really bad value. If you were to go Model Y, which I really don't like the Model Y. I just don't. I mean, I've now driven Model Y Juniper. I did that while I was in DC. And while they did fix the primary primary key issue was they selected the wrong type of suspension for that vehicle. They selected way too sporty of a suspension for what's supposed to be a mom car. Honestly, that's how I feel about all of these two-row crossovers. They're just mom cars. And they're even bad at being mom cars.
Oh. Yeah, that's why when I grow up, my wife, I'm going to make sure not to buy my wife any crossovers or SUVs.
Yeah, if anything, it's either a station wagon or a minivan.
Same. And if you don't ever need to haul more than 5 people, sedan.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, did I ever mention, I don't know if I told this story on the podcast yet. Did I mention that the dealer tried to buy back Stardust?
Yes.
I don't know if I mentioned it on the show yet.
Yes, you did.
You sure I did?
Yes, I'm pretty sure you did.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they learned real quickly when they tried to buy the car back. Obviously, they'd have to get me something else. They learned real quick. Nobody makes anything that I want anymore except for Tesla. And it's primarily because what's on the market? Crossover, 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 crossover. And if you know me, I really do not like these cars. I personally have a hard time getting in them, which is insane because, like, the number one reason why people love these things is, oh, they're easier to get in and out and you're sitting high on the road. And those are the two things I hate about most of these cars. But also, they drive terribly.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, nobody makes a car that actually fits my needs. Because they got rid of their sedans. And from what I'm hearing, more and more automakers are starting to ditch their sedans. Outside of just GM and Ford. So it drives me mad because all we found for sedans were like Toyotas, which I do not like Toyotas. I have driven Toyotas before. I really hate the way they drive.
And of course, we all know what happens to new Toyotas.
Yeah. They had a used Lexus on the lot, but you know how those are the ones with the infotainment systems where it's literally a laptop trackpad.
Yeah. Oh, did I tell you that my dad's considering buying a Lexus SUV for road trips? He's not sure if he wants to do it. He's not sure if he wants to do it yet because he because of efficiency. Because well, he doesn't care about efficiency, but because he still ultimately prefers driving sedans. But yeah, he's been toying around with the idea for quite some time of buying a Lexus SUV.
I would not. I legit would not.
If he wants an SUV, he should just buy my mom's car because my mom literally never use. My mom doesn't use my mom maybe could get away with using a moped with how much she drives. I'm dead serious.
Wow.
I mean, she'd have to wear. She likes cold. She doesn't mind cold weather, so. I mean, she
Well, you live in the South. It's not like you get it. It's not like it gets as cold as it does up here.
Yeah, but I mean, I genuinely think my mom might just need a moped.
So, yeah, that's the thing. Nobody makes a car that I want to drive anymore, except for Tesla. They are legit the only ones. I mean, the Trax does come close, but I still don't have the right seating position. The car feels way too cheap, in my opinion. Albeit, though, they are offering that car at a decent price, so I'm not too upset. But
yeah,
it's just... No. Give me a sedan. Give me a real car. And gas or electric. I feel Tesla right now is the only one making a real car that is actually desirable and relatively inexpensive to purchase, even without the tax credit.
exactly. But I feel we butchered that topic to death. So shall we move on to our next topic? Speaking of Tesla.
Oh, there's more Tesla stuff. I really gotta read these.
So Tesla is now offering 3,500 and 4,500 Model S and Model 3 and S leases respectively.
Really? Like, that's how much you pay in total, or?
I think that's...
I gotta look this up.
I think that's total, yes.
Wow. I really hope Tabby's mom did not buy that Jetta yet.
I mean, I don't personally like to do leases because it's overall more expensive than just buying a car outright most of the time, but...
Well, their family does... Their family typically leases, though. I won't say why, but their family typically leases. So, yeah, let's see. Lease. I'm on Model 3. So, take me to the details. Hello.
I had to raise my actual desk chair seat because unlike in cars, I actually do like to be higher up off the ground when I'm at my desk.
Oops, that's cash. I want lease. Alright, let's go all the way down to payment stuff. Payment details. Estimated lease payment, $3,000 down, 36 months, 10,000 miles. So, let's see, 429 times 36. Oops. 429 times 36. So this is actually what the cost would work out to for a base Model 3.
I guess they must be referring to the down payments.
Yeah, the down payment was $3,000.
Yeah, that's even cheaper than what my topic said, but... I mean, if you're one
Yeah,
of
I
those
suppose
suckers
now that the
leases,
tax credit's gone, they got to get aggressive on this stuff. So
Yep. I mean, if you're one of those suckers that likes to lease, then
yeah, I never could because I drive too much. And actually, this was remember when Tabby was car shopping, between the GTI and the Audi S3.
yes, and the Audi he would have had to have leased.
Yeah, it was literally the ultimate reason why he didn't get the Audi. It was just he drives too much. Where leasing does not make. He's already got like I think he's got like 11,000 miles on that car already,
Wow.
and he hasn't even had the car for a year yet. That's how much he drives. And even I'm realizing, the tracks. I picked that up on Monday with about 16 miles on the odometer. I'm almost crossing 100, and it's Thursday. It's only been 4 days.
I mean, I had to get my oil changed after. I have to get my oil changed every 3 months because my car is getting high miles. Like, I drive around 3,000 miles every 3 months.
Yeah, I average 1,000 miles a month myself, and all this traveling has really been racking up on the miles. I'm legitimately shocked at how much I drive, but that's ultimately the reason why I could never lease myself. So, but yeah, I really don't know what else to say other than, yeah, Tesla's really going to have to start getting aggressive with their pricing, because now that the tax credit's gone, I mean, on one hand, for the most part, I'm mostly grateful that the tax credit's gone for a bunch of reasons. For one, I hate that it ties EVs into politics. I've always hated that. And whenever I've done my electric car reviews and discussed pricing, I always give you the price without the tax credit. That's how I've always done it. Because I don't like that these tax credits now politicize EVs. It's also the reason why it's also one of the many reasons why I've taken a break from the Drive channel, because all of the electric cars, all anyone wanted to talk about was, oh, this tax credit's going away and Trump's going to destroy the EV market and the EV industry. Even though I found that it's still growing, if I'm being honest. But the reason why it's growing has nothing to do with politics. It's because it's actually gotten itself a stronghold in the market. And while it's not that big of a stronghold yet, it's now solidified its place here in the market, and it's only going to keep growing. So
Exactly.
yeah, I will say that. So, on one hand, I am glad the tax credit is gone to finally get rid of the political association with these cars. But the other reason, too, is, if I'm being honest, there was really only one company that was really benefiting from this tax credit.
Tesla.
We all probably know, yeah, it's Tesla. Tesla has been benefiting the most from this tax credit, because every other EV right now that's not a Tesla, for the most part, has had their batteries made elsewhere or has not had final assembly here in the US, and as a result, they didn't qualify for the tax credit. And so if you wanted to buy an electric car outright that's not a Tesla, you were paying significantly more out of pocket, especially after the tax credit became a point of sale based thing, because Tesla was already a great value to begin with before the tax credit compared to their competition. But because Tesla also did qualify for the tax credit, because they are legit like the most American made automaker in the US right now, while everyone else was not, that gave Tesla a significant advantage over. They were already one of the better values on the market to begin with, but now that they also have the tax credit applied to it, well, at that point, now these other automakers can't compete. That's why they had these absolutely insane lease programs going on. It was the only way they could get these cars off their lots. It's because price-wise, they just could not compete with Tesla. They couldn't. And that's why they had to lease them. And this is also the big reason why we had the used EV crash. Why their values just went straight to the floor. That's why you could pick them up so cheap. On one hand, I was grateful because that means if you wanted to get into an electric car, well, now it's relatively inexpensive because the used market sucks right now. But at the same time, with their prices being that low, it made them look like, from an outsider's perspective, it made EVs look undesirable compared to gas cars, because the amount they depreciated from their new price to their used price and how quickly they did it, it made it look like the cars have been super undesirable, absolutely hurting their reputation. So now that the tax credit is gone, I think this is going to help both the used market and the new market. It'll help other automakers outside of Tesla actually be able to compete with them on price. And at the same time, well, yes, it'll suck that used EVs are probably about to go up in price again.
Oh,
because
crap.
now you...
Crap,
Yeah.
I should probably get on the 8 ball of buying a Tesla.
You probably should. So I'm going to warn you right now, you probably should. Because now that the tax credit's gone, all of these Teslas that have depreciated in value, well, now that it's more expensive to buy a new one, I'm willing to bet the used market is going to respond accordingly. So, and that sucks for me too, because especially while the tax credit was going on, yeah, if the car had crashed, if Stardust had crashed and got totaled, I probably could have purchased a brand new Model 3 in the exact configuration I wanted. Now it's gotten a lot more expensive, and that would be a lot harder on my wallet if I decided to go that route. But, so yeah, it's less convenient for me, but ultimately, I do think this is going to help the EV market, because right now, especially the used market, to someone who's not an EV enthusiast, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, these electric cars, they're so undesirable. Look how much money people have lost after buying these new cars. And so I really hope this actually corrects the used market for one. So that way it gets rid of this negative stigma of EV depreciation. But at the same time, now Tesla's really going to have to compete because they lost their advantage.
Please do not get rid of used EV depreciation. I need that.
So, I mean, on one hand, because you're looking to buy a Model 3, I don't know what's going to happen to Model 3 specifically. Because as much as I don't care about Elon at all, the sad truth is Elon put a big poop stain on Tesla's reputation.
That is true.
So, on one hand, you might be able to find a used Model 3 at still a pretty cheap price. But on the other hand, again, if new Teslas have gotten more expensive, used Teslas could still go up in value. So, I don't know, and it's because of the whole Elon wild card. So,
shall I move on to our next topic, though?
Yeah, I think I've said enough about EV pricing. So, anywho, are we on to the leaks and rumors, supposedly? Yes, it appears so.
Yep. So, Apple has supposedly internally shelved their Next Vision Pro for a pair of smart glasses. On one hand, smart glasses aren't any more useful, but on the other hand, at least they're shelving the Next Vision Pro because they realize that the Vision Pro isn't selling well
Yeah.
enough.
Dude, Apple feels so lost. They just feel so lost.
Yep.
Yeah, the shepherd has lost his North Star, and now he's leading their sheep. Now he's leading the sheep astray. If you understand what I mean.
I mean, is that a story in the Bible? Because I don't.
No. It's supposed to be a joke about how Apple fans are a bunch of sheep that follow whatever the shepherd says. The shepherd being Apple in this case.
Oh! And the North Star is what they use for navigation. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Apple feels like they have no direction anymore. There is no direction. There is no vision. It's just... I mean, for one, the tech industry has kind of been exhausted. So, it's like, I don't know what else to say about it, but...
Same, but shall we move on to our next
it'd be cool.
topic?
Yeah, I'd say
Which
so.
goes hand in hand. So, Meta is possibly discontinuing the Quest line if great success does not come soon.
Well, considering Meta's reputation, and I think people are finally catching on. I mean, I'm not entirely sure if that's the case, but...
I think it's just that people are realizing that VR is stupid.
Yeah, that's not helping. But then it also doesn't help that when it comes to the AI stuff, because that's what everybody cares about these days, the statements Mark has made is very insulting in regards to copyright. So
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime Meta does poorly is a good day.
Exactly, but do you have anything more to say about this, or shall we move on to our final topic?
I think it's time to move on to Intel. I'm hearing Intel's got a lot of big stuff going on right now.
So Intel is possibly going to start being the manufacturer for chips for AMD, Nvidia, Snapdragon, and Apple.
I'm curious to know how this came about because, for one, Intel is like all of their serious competitors because, I mean, for one, Intel and AMD compete super heavily in the x86 desktop space. Intel and Apple compete in the laptop space. Well, along with AMD too, but, well, obviously Apple Silicon is the better choice in the laptop space. Nvidia is like... I'm surprised that they're going to do Nvidia stuff because, for one,
They're
Intel
big
has
rivals.
their own GPU business.
And Nvidia and Intel are big rivals. I mean, old Max used to use Nvidia, and let me grab it. My 2019 MacBook Pro that used to run this podcast. This has Nvidia. This has Intel graphics in it.
Which one?
My 2019 MacBook Pro.
Actually, no. That has a Radeon chip in it.
Yeah, Intel.
AMD Radeon.
No, this has Intel Iris. No, mine has the integrated, so mine's Intel Iris, I'm pretty sure.
I thought the 16-inch only came with dedicated graphics.
No, mine does not.
I know the 13-inch had integrated graphics, but I thought the 16-inch only came with dedicated graphics. You couldn't get.
Power.
I'm sure it has dedicated graphics.
No, this doesn't. I've checked the specs before.
Because it's a $2,500 laptop. There's no way it doesn't have dedicated graphics.
It's the base model with just extra storage. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it does not. It doesn't have juice in it right now, so I can't check. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it has. I'm pretty sure it has Intel Iris graphics.
Let me look that up, because I'm too curious now.
By the way, the point behind this topic is that Intel is struggling so badly they're now going to start manufacturing chips for their competitors. So
yeah, that is wild. And I hear that Intel, aside from that, apparently they're in the process of launching a new. I think they're getting ready to launch new chips themselves.
yeah.
OBS, my bad. Oops.
How long did you mute yourself for?
It was only a few minutes. It's not that. It was only during like the whole. I was typing in the I was typing in 2019, and my mute key for OBS is the 0 on my number pad. So it was only a couple minutes. It won't be anything major. So
that's gonna be a nightmare. But okay.
It's nothing major. It's just a couple minutes. So either way, yeah, Intel's got some big stuff going on. I was in the middle of watching some news on. I guess they're launching a new integrated graphics architecture. Their XE integrated graphics, whatever they call it, XE, Z, something like that. So, yeah, I guess they got some stuff going on right now. And that is like legit everything I can think of.
Yeah, in other news, we're out of topics.
Yeah. I mean, I've got potentially one more if anyone's interested in music.
Because we're out, let's go ahead.
So, I've been debating this for a while. Scratch that, since Saturday, but I don't know. For years, I have always wanted a 12-string guitar. Which, if you're not into music, then you might not understand what a 12-string guitar is. Typically, your standard guitar is 6 strings.
Yeah, I played 6-string guitars before.
Oh, really? I didn't know you played the guitar.
I don't actually know how. I've never been taught it, but yeah, I have played the guitar. My mom and aunt used to both play guitars, so I played around with their old guitars.
So I'll showcase this one first. This is a more normal guitar with 6 strings. So yeah, you can tell it's 6 strings by the fact that there are 6 tuning pegs, and yeah, it's a 6-string. This is your standard, typical guitar. Well, mine has a bit of a design for the wooden base, but the thing is, though, there's another type of guitar out there that produces a much fuller sound than what you can typically get out of a 6-string. And that is this. It's a 12-string.
I think one of my family's guitars is actually a 12-string.
Yeah. You typically don't see these, though, because for one, they're a lot more expensive because, well, I guess you need a stronger neck to deal with the tension of the strings. But then also you have the fact that, now you need more tuning pegs and string mounts and such. And and then the fact that, yeah, you got double your strings now. So the funny thing that a lot of people probably don't know is you think, oh, wait, one is double the strings of the other. That means that you probably won't be able to interchange between them, except they actually are interchangeable. The only difference is just you're, instead of pushing one string to play a different note on the 6-string guitar, you're now pushing 2 strings on a 12-string. It's kind of like in a piano. When I uploaded my video to the Beats channel where I'm tuning the piano, you might recall that some of the notes had more than one string. Some of the bass notes were double stringed, and then when you get into the more treble notes, the higher pitch notes, they actually had 3 strings that I had to tune, which was pretty annoying because it takes forever to tune a piano. So on one hand, it might be a bit more annoying to tune one of these, but the truth is it's really the exact same concept as those 3 strings on a piano, or 2 strings for each individual note. It is literally the exact same concept on a 12-string. So to give you guys a reference on the difference between the sounds of a 6-string versus a 12-string. This is a single note, the bottom note of a 6-string. And this is the quote-unquote single note of the bottom strings of a 12-string. It's got both that bottom E, but also an E that plays an octave higher. And if you strum it, compared to, it's missing that high G. Instead of plucking one string to get the same pitch, I'm now plucking 2 strings at the same time. So say this E string here. So I actually muted the 2nd string. So on the high end, the two E strings here are literally tuned to the same pitch. I actually don't know why these top 2 notes need a 2nd string, because they're literally the exact same pitch. So that's both of them. But the difference comes in the bass. So this is what your typical 6-string sounds like on your lowest end string. I hope you guys can hear that.
I can't hear it on the call, but I'll probably hear it in post.
All right. But if I were to play the full string here, the 2 strings are playing an octave apart, giving you a much fuller sound. So when you strum it, instead of getting mostly bass strings plus your, I mean, it's a fairly okay balance, but when you strum a 12-string, you're getting a lot fuller sound. It's kind of like when you play an organ, because on an organ, you compare multiple octaves to the same key and get basically the same effect as a 12-string. So it's like, this is the organ of guitars, in a sense. So there's everyone's music lesson, I guess, for the day.
Yeah, I remember. When I was in elementary school, I used to hate music class because all we ever did in music class was either learn about music, which was just kind of boring, or else we would we also had to restart learning recorder lessons 3 times because we switched music teachers pretty frequently. Or in my last couple of years, we switched music teachers twice. So.
Yeah, that's weird. My music classes are a bit untraditional compared to what most people think. Because for one, never learned to play the recorder. As bizarre as that is. But actually what we focused on doing was... Well, for one, the entire grade, in elementary school at least, your entire class mandatorily puts on a concert, whether you're good at singing or not.
Oh, actually, I have a story that I was just thinking about. I was actually thinking about telling this on the podcast, but didn't think it would ever come up. But I guess I'll tell it now. So, in my elementary school, before the 2019-2020 school year, what would happen is that the third graders would mandatorily put on concerts. That used to be a tradition. Third grade would always do it. However, when I was in third grade and did that concert, I did not. It was just a Christmas concert like we would always do. But in third grade, we sang normal Christmas songs. I don't remember what all we sang, but it was. Oh, right. Yeah, I remember. It was a Welcome Christmas from the Grinch, and then When Christmas Comes to Town from the Polar Express. Yeah, those are two primary songs we sung. And then two kids did solos. So yeah, we got that down. But what else but we sung that in third grade, and that was okay. But the problem was that in the bleacher bleacher section in my elementary school gym, it was so hot up there. And because, for reference, I was in third grade. I was 9 for reference. I was already like 5'2", 5'3".
Oh wow!
Do you want to guess where I stood on the bleachers?
Probably all the way at the top and in the back.
Yep. And so consequently, and you all know how unstable
heat rises.
And you all know how unstable that is too. So it just did not give me a good feeling. And then in fifth grade, and then in fourth grade, my music teacher the music teacher that had been there since I was in first grade left in the middle of the year. And then we had to get an interim one to finish out the year after having a few subs. But then fifth grade with my new music teacher, they decided to have it when every grade would put on mandatorily put on a concert. However, at that point, because I really did not like the one in third grade, I luckily first of all, the songs that you had to sing that up there, which my family members don't mind skipping this for, it was like we did sing a couple of normal ones like Winter Wonderland and yeah, I don't even remember the other one. But the majority, but what my music teacher wanted us to focus on were on weird Christmas songs like Everlasting Fruitcake and Chicken Soup. So, consequently, and even my own family members said, yes, you can skip that one. So, what I did in order to, was all I had to do, because I didn't go to that one, which, mind you, was a major part of my grade, was just watch the video of the concert, and then get like one of the songs being performed at the concert, and then answer a few questions about it. That's all I had to do.
Oh, really?
Yes. And luckily my mom emailed my music teacher about that, and they let me stay on the floor of the stage for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, and obviously in my area, elementary school is from kindergarten through 5th grade, and well, the next year was the pandemic anyway, but
yeah,
I was in middle school at that point.
Yeah, my elementary school, basically you were doing everything. It didn't matter which grade you were in. If you were in kindergarten, you're going up on stage to sing, not in front of just your school. They invited the parents and any other community members out there.
Oh yeah, they did that for us too.
So yeah, kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. It didn't matter which grade you were in. You were always doing a Christmas concert every year. And if you joined the 4th and 5th grade choir, which obviously I did, then you're also putting on a second concert in spring too.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, when I was in if we didn't switch music teachers quite so long, it probably would have been better. But what we did in kindergarten, because we had one music teacher who, she got pregnant, so she had to leave in the middle of the year. But in kindergarten we learned. I don't even remember what we did in music class in kindergarten, but the music teacher that was at my elementary school from 1st to the early part of 4th grade, we learned so much cool stuff in there. Like, we learned about Bach in 2nd grade. We watched The Sound of Music in 3rd grade.
Yep.
We listened to Elvis in 1st grade.
Really?
Yes.
We didn't even do that type of
Yeah,
music. Oh, that is hilarious.
Yeah, we learned all about that stuff. We listened to Thriller in second grade. Yeah, we did all sorts of cool stuff. We actually learned more than music competition. But then fourth grade, we had to get. In fourth grade, at the end of fourth grade, we actually started learning more about drums, and then we had to relearn recorders again, even though we already started in fourth grade. And then in fifth grade, we had to relearn recorders for a third time because we got another music teacher.
For us, in terms of instruments, it was boom whackers.
And so
they're basically tubes that you smack on the ground.
Yeah, we might have done those. I don't know, but played those by. But then, obviously, after fifth grade, I didn't have to take any music classes anymore. But when I was in elementary school, art and music were always my lowest grades. Like I just did not get the greatest grades in those classes.
Yeah, fair enough. For me, I always had a blast, specifically in music. In fact, we'd have a musical bingo every now and then, and everyone hated me because I was practically the only person to get bingo in that class.
Makes sense, but yeah, but then if I did have a normal middle school life, if my middle school was normal for me, then I wouldn't have had to have taken any music classes unless I joined band or choir, which I didn't, and I didn't have to my 8th grade year when I went back. But there.
Yeah, for me, I stuck to. I mean, I took an accelerated math course back when I went. It happened in 7th grade. I took an accelerated math course, which got me ahead of most of the grade. So I was actually doing math with more. Well, the following year in 8th grade, instead of doing 8th grade math, I was doing algebra with freshmen. As bizarre as that is. Other than that, I kept everything basic because my two personal favorite classes were both band and choir.
Makes
Obviously,
sense.
I'm a musician.
Yeah, in my area, you can only do. In my area, how it works is that obviously everything is all the academic levels are the same in elementary school, unless you go to enrichment time for math and English, in which case they actually do divide up according to ability.
Yep.
And then in middle school, how they do it is they base it off of state testing scores. If science and social studies and related arts, they're all the same, unless you're in band or choir. But then if you're for math and English, according to your state testing results, and if you're not a transfer student, then you can, and if your scores are high enough, then you can do advanced math and ELA at the middle schools in my area. And then in high school, you can do, at my high schools in my area, you can do, well, depending on what type of course it is, it's either you can do standard, honors, or AP. In order to do honors, you have to have at least a B average.
Well, that would have been no problem for me.
Yeah.
Well, grade-wise. Mental capacity-wise, that's a different story. Oh.
In my school district,
Gosh,
honestly, honors.
I hated school.
In my school district, in my area, in my school, honors math is the hardest honors course you can take.
Well, I bet. Oh, I forgot to mention the one detail about that 12-string guitar. Normal asking price for that is around $380, and I picked it up for $300. It's about
pretty good.
Nearly 25% off. Yeah, that's why I am real impressed with that deal. That's why I couldn't pass it up. So, I'm gonna have a blast on that 12-string, which reminds me, I am 2 years overdue. I still have to finish that holiday album.
Makes yeah. It's almost Christmas time, so you better get to working on that
Yeah.
time. But do you ever play the guitar? Do you ever play other instruments for your church, or do you just play the organ?
Uh,
Sang.
Occasionally I'll pull out the guitar for if the children are singing a song. So I'll play the guitar for that. If it's a children's mass, instead of playing the organ up in the choir loft, the kids are actually up front where the piano is. And so I will actually play the piano instead of the organ to be closer to them. And so that way their director can have quicker, faster communication with me because children's masses are a bit hectic for us at least.
Yeah, I've never. Yeah, I'm not Catholic, so I wouldn't know, but
Yeah. But no, I play the guitar and the piano at church. Not as frequently. I primarily play the organ since that's the church's best instrument. I mean, given that it costs them 80 grand, I am not surprised. It's their best instrument. So, yeah, it just got tuned this week too. Our organ technician came up this week, and so he tuned that and fixed a few pipes that had cracked. So it sounds glorious right now. And then there have been occasions where I've debated pulling out. My goodness, it's been a while since I've touched this one. I have a flute. I still have a flute. Fact.
was that the instrument you played back when you were in your school's band?
Yep. In fact, not only do I have a flute, I have a really nice flute. It's a Gemeinhardt. I think that's how you pronounce it. Ooh. Yeah, she's gonna need a cleaning. Oh, I haven't touched this thing in a long time. And clearly I'm gonna need to because that's not sliding on nicely. So, okay, I can't get the mouthpiece fully on because it needs to be cleaned and such. But yeah, this is my flute. And what's neat, and the reason why this is a really nice flute instead of your standard flute, you might have noticed a couple of my keys, they have holes over them. If I can finger it right. A sec. Wow, I have not played this in quite a long time. But, because I haven't been in band since COVID. But, yeah, there's holes over these to help control your tone. And then the final thing, it's actually, if I can get center stage to focus, this key here is typically not found on most flutes. This is actually an extra key. It typically stops at this key right here. But this is what's referred to as a B foot. So instead of its lowest note being a middle C, it's actually a middle B, one note below it. So, no, yeah, this was a nice flip. This instrument cost me $800. And yes, that was my money I spent on it.
I mean, I believe the band kids at my school still have to pay for their instruments. I don't know, but I believe they do.
Our school did offer funding to help pay for them, or they rented their instruments out too, if I'm not mistaken. But no, I went the route of purchasing my own instrument, and yeah, this thing cost me $800. It was not cheap, and it looks like she's gonna need a bit of a restoration, because yeah, I can't get the mouthpiece fully on. So, and these pads look like they have long since expired. So, but yeah, I think this is the first time I've ever showcased this instrument on YouTube. I don't even think this made it into any of my other videos.
Makes sense because you haven't really touched your flute since the pandemic started, and that's been a while.
Yeah. Oh,
I was
so overdue on playing this thing.
My voice hadn't even dropped yet when the pandemic started.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Gosh. Please come apart. Please come apart. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take this to my local music store and have it get restored again. Yeah, I have no idea how much it's worth now, considering that I bought this in... What year did I buy this?
Let me think.
It was either 2017 or 2018 I bought the flute. I think it was 2017 I bought it.
Yeah, that would check. Yeah, that would have checked out, cause. Yeah, I think I. Just as an unrelated question, is your elementary school K through 5 or K through 6?
It's K through 5.
That's what I thought, but.
Well, I had another flute before that one that was more standard. I bought it used for $500. But that instrument in particular was worn out. I had a lot of sticky keys and like the pads were sticking, but also the linkages were not working properly on it. And instead of investing in restoring that, I ended up actually... I don't know if it's still in my old room in this house, somewhere in storage. Or I don't know if we actually still have it.
Is your old room still being used for anything?
My youngest sister is now occupying that room.
So basically... that's how the rooms work in your house.
Yeah. Yeah, my youngest sister is occupying my old room. Not the basement room. I'm talking about my room before the basement days.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing you're old. Yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah, that would check out, for a bedroom arrangement.
So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure if we still have it or not, because ultimately my parents bought that first one. And I ended up buying the one I have right here. That's why it's still here, because I've debated selling it in the past because I haven't had a lot of time to play it, nor a lot of reason to. But it's like, at the same time, it's legit my favorite woodwind instrument. But I ended up stopped playing it because, for one, well, obviously COVID hit, and so I stopped. I was no longer in band at that point because I never returned to public school after COVID. And then, two, I was a bit disappointed in my ability to play it. I never could really get it to sound that great. It was in part because my teeth, this was before I had braces, and my teeth were so messed up, so I could not position that instrument properly to get it to actually sound nice. It always had this airy sound effect. I was pretty decent at like fingerings and such. That was all fine. It's just what I could not do was get the tone to sound right. It just sounded awful. And so I felt so discouraged from playing that instrument that I just never picked it up after COVID. And like, especially when I got braces, I'm like, no, there's no way I can play this thing because braces make it even worse. So I'm debating now that my teeth are straight, my braces are off, I'm debating, should I get it restored at this point, because it's not healthy for that instrument to sit that long, because I mentioned the keys are sticky and I can't even get the mouthpiece fully in. So I'm debating, should I get it restored and start playing it again, because it's been years since I've done it. But at the same time, I have other priorities with my money, and it costs a couple $100 to restore an instrument like that.
Yeah, that's a valid point, but I mean, I understand why you get so discouraged to do something. You just kind of want to walk away from it, since that's really the same issue I had with a lot of stuff. Like that's why I could never really get into sport. That's why I could never really get into sports, was because I was just never really, I was one of the worst kids in my gym class in terms of actually doing the activities in elementary school. So I just never really got it.
I found it hilarious because I was never considered all that fit, or yeah. I was not considered fit or athletic, even though I did 1 year of basketball. Uh, but the reason why it actually got to a point where literally when you get two team captains and they start picking people, it was weird when I was like immediately picked before they pick anyone else who's actually athletic. And the reason for it is I am awesome on defense. I am awesome at getting in the way of people and stopping people from, be it trying to get to the other side of the court. Or I am awesome at getting in the way, allowing my teammates to hustle and allowing me to slow down the other team. So because I was that good on defense, and because I'd argue that I'm a little competitive, maybe to a fault. I tend to take games just a little too seriously.
Same.
I'm surprised that they actually legit started picking me like early on. Which before I did basketball, I was always the last one picked. Because there was nothing impressive about me.
Why did you quit basketball? Just out of curiosity.
In combination, I was out of shape compared to the rest of my teammates. That's how I was so good at getting in the way. Because I couldn't keep up with them. So it was in combination of I was a bit out of shape, and I was fast, but I had really bad cardio. I had no endurance. My cardio was so bad. It was killing me out there. But the other primary thing was it got in the way of other activities that I wanted to do and other activities I considered more important, mostly music. And so that's why I ended up dropping it. It's just I didn't want to commit that much to a game. So
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, kids in my school ask me why I never did football or basketball, and the main reason why I never did basketball was just because of, well, not only time commitment, but also, even though I'm tall, I am not that good at basketball. Because the problem isn't my size. The problem isn't that I'm necessarily so out of shape. I mean, I kind of am, but I'm not necessarily out of shape. But the problem is that I cannot think fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah,
my
I'd
biggest
have
problem.
that problem too. I'd have that problem too, but
and believe it or
yeah,
not,
for me it was a combination of cardio and just time commitments.
that makes sense. And the reason why I never got into playing football is because, well, first of all, my mom wouldn't let me, so there's that.
Yeah.
But also kind of for that same reason.
I can never do it because I still don't understand the rules of that game. It literally makes no sense.
I mean, I've understand the rules a little bit better now from going to my school's football games, but yeah, I mean, the rules of football can be a little bit difficult, but to understand. But again, if you play it, I'm sure the more you play it, I'm sure it gets easier to understand. And
So,
besides, you gotta have rules or else it's not fun.
yeah, that's true. That is very true. So, but no, most of my strengths in school were primarily my musical abilities, except because I valued music so much in school, and I was not as good at the flute as I wanted to be. In fact, because I could not get the right tone out of it towards the end of, before COVID came, I had slipped all the way to last chair, and that felt so demoralizing. Yeah, for reference, there's a bit of a ranking system in each instrument sectional. First chair means this is the top player, and last chair means this is the worst.
If my school's band is playing a football game, like in the ble I assume you played for your band played for your school's football games.
Yep, we did.
So like, are the kids in the top row the best, or or like, how is that? How?
No. Well, for one, all of us were organized. We're first organized by musical instrument section, and it's higher pitch notes in front, lower pitch notes in the back.
Makes sense.
It's done that way for acoustic reasons. But in terms of where you stand within your section, that is based off of skill and rank and your chair order. And that's chair order is determined solely by how good are you at playing your instrument compared to your peers.
Wow, I didn't know band was that competitive. I mean,
Yeah, there was a bit of competition in it, which I hated that aspect of it because I cared more about making music together as a group, and I hated the competitive aspect of trying to be better than the person next to you. It just introduced this competitive element that really was demoralizing for me, and it hurt my self-confidence, my ability to make music, which ultimately became the reason why choir became my top ultimate favorite class. That, and if there was one class where I was definitely teacher's pet, it was 100% choir. My choir director and we got along so well. We still talk to each other on the occasion about music events, and technically I'm in the exact same choir, albeit not this semester right now. It's Michigan Tech's choir. My former high school choir director is a member of the Michigan Tech choir, and let me tell you, I love making music with her. It's been a while since I've talked to her, actually. I should probably get back in touch, but yeah, for me, I've mentioned in the past, I really did not have a lot of friends. The high school choir director was practically my best friend.
that makes sense, but you raise a good point about how school can be so competitive sometimes, since it feels like everything in school is just a competition.
It's just a giant popularity contest. At this point, I got no value from the education because it was either taught wrong or taught with fault. And honestly, school, in my opinion, was nothing but a giant popularity contest.
Same.
And obviously, me being socially awkward, and I made a vlog about this last year describing my struggles with my social acceptance at school in general. Dude, it sucked. School sucked so hard for me. I was so glad to finally be out of that place when COVID hit. And
Yeah, you
luckily,
should've-
I'm graduated. I never have to go back to that place again. But no, school was awful for me. It was so hard. And especially throughout middle school and bits of high school when I was there. Honestly, choir was legit the only thing that kept me going through. Otherwise, dude, it was a real dark point in my life.
Yeah, because
it
I
was
know
bad.
that makes sense. Because I know you had issues with kids vaping at your school.
Oh, it's not even. No, it's not even. I mean, it wasn't as big of a problem as other schools, from what I hear. You couldn't really smell it that much.
Well, you
But
can't really smell vapes.
No,
that
a lot
well.
of it. Even then, that's really wasn't the problem. Is they've got their gangs grouped up together, and then it was the gangs. It's stupid internet trends, like I talk about the 6-7 thing. It's stupid. It does, but there were even other school trends that were going on more relevant to when I was like fidget spinners.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if kendamas were a thing. At the time for you, but kendamas were also a thing.
Were Kadamas.
It was another trend. I don't know if I still have mine because they gave out free ones at one point. I do. And that's the box tower. Damn it.
Because fidget spinners were trending at my school, but how do you spell a kendama?
It's a Japanese word, so I genuinely don't know. It's come on, Center Stage. It's this thing.
Those
Point
weren't
of
really
it,
trending.
I won't demonstrate. Yeah, the point of this toy, I won't fully demonstrate how it's supposed to work. Is you're supposed to flip the ball onto certain cups, and then at the end, there's a hole in the ball right here. Get it to stick on the stick like that. This was a huge thing at my school.
Yeah, it wasn't a big
It's
thing
dumb.
in my school, but I was also in elementary school, so we didn't have the same type of stuff. And also, toys were banned at my elementary school, so
Well, these were too during teaching hours, obviously, but that didn't stop them, of course. So
that makes perfect sense. But in other news, we're out of recording time.
Oh, it is 9 o'clock. I didn't realize that. So, wow. I'm surprised we kept the show going for this long after we ran out of our topics.
As always, thank you all for tuning into another episode of the iTunes Fan Podcast. And as always, I'm Teddy Macker from the iTunes Fanboy.
Yeah, my name is Alpha DeWolf from the Random Alpha.
And I hope to see you all next time when I likely still will not have my iPhone 17 Pro. Until then, take care. Peace out, everyone.